Milwaukee is a city in mourning this evening after a police officer was shot and killed in the overnight hours while trying to arrest a robbery suspect. That fallen officer, 37-year-old Peter Jerving, he was on the force for 4 years. It all began when officers responded to an armed robbery at these apartments on West Good Hope Road. Officers tried to arrest a 19-year-old suspect, but they say he drove away. Officers pursued the suspect. They found him miles away on the south side of the city near 14th and Cleveland. Officers chased him on foot, and Officer Jerving caught up with him. During an ensuing struggle, the suspect pulled out a gun and Jerving was shot. Jerving fired back. Police say the man, 19-year-old Terrell Thompson, was killed. They're not sure if it was self-inflicted or by an officer's fire. Officer Jerving was taken to the hospital where he later died.
And I'm live at District 4 headquarters, Officer Jerving's home base at MPD, and a memorial is set up behind me. I'm going to have much more on the outpouring of sympathy being shown here today.
Carol, we'll get to you in a minute. Right now, we want to get to Katie Crowther. She is at the medical examiner's office in Milwaukee, where the body of Officer Peter Jerving is about to be transported to a local funeral home, and the police honor guard has already begun to gather. Katie.
Yeah, that's right. Also some detectives and police officers and just people from the Milwaukee Police Department staff. They are starting to gather here. There is a police car in the driveway. Still really no word on when the procession will start exactly, but there are some Milwaukee police officers on horseback waiting to the side. An American flag is being raised at an intersection nearby on the top of a fire truck. A very emotional time out here. There's also some members of the public just waiting along the sidewalk. And, you know, I do want to point to that. The point of these processions really is to honor these officers who have made the ultimate sacrifice, in this case, Officer Peter Jerving. And the people who gather here, the Milwaukee Police Union president said today that it means a lot. It means a lot to see people along the route. They will take Officer Jerving's body to Krause Funeral Home, and just to see people along the route waving, some waving American flags, some standing in silence, some bowing their head. It's just a showing of solidarity that really means a lot to the police officers, the police department. For now, I will bring you the procession as it begins, but for now, I'll send it back to you, Steve, with more on this horrible day.
Katie, thank you for that. We'll see you again in a bit. The TMJ4 News team has reporters throughout the city covering this today. Bruce Harrison will join us with the latest on the investigation, but we'll start with Carol Meekins in the morning for Officer Peter Jerving. She's live at District 4 tonight. Carol?
Steve, it's been a very difficult day for people to wake up to the news of a Milwaukee police officer shot and killed. Now, for those who knew Peter Jerving, coming here to the district was cathartic. Honoring his memory actually gave them a sense of peace in the middle of their sadness.
It's stupid. It's just not fair. It's not right. He was doing what he loved, and it's just not fair.
Heavy hearts and tears as friends arrived to District 4 to pay their respects. The memorial grows. The public shows up here to lay flowers at a flag-draped car in honor of the fallen officer. A tearful Kate Davidson from Oak Creek pays tribute to a friend she's known for the last 8 years.
He was the biggest pain, but the sweetest soul. He was so kind to everyone that he met. Just such a caring person. He always wanted to do what was best for everybody. He was a little bit of an a-hole, but he was our a-hole, so it's fine.
Karen Kitch is devastated. She tells me what motivated her friend to become an officer.
Because when he was a kid, he had his bike stolen by somebody, and the cop either found the bike or bought him a new one to replace it. And so he thought that was a really cool thing, and so that's, yeah.
So he wanted to make sure that he gave back because someone helped him as a child. Many here paying respects admit they don't have the answer, but they tell me something must be done.
Something needs to change, though. It's just not fair. I didn't want to get that call at 7:30 this morning that my friend died, you know? Like, it's just not fair.
And as those who come here find solace in hugs, they're thankful they got to know a man who has gone far too soon.
He was human. He made mistakes, but at the end of the day, he loved everybody. He had such a big heart. And when he loved fully.
A love that lays heavy on the hearts at District 4 and all over the Milwaukee area community. And again, Officer Jerving was only 37 years old. He had received a life-saving award from the Milwaukee Police Department just last year. And when a member of the force dies, officers head to the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office to stand vigil and honor their fallen brother or sister. Now, we have video of that procession. It took place early this morning as an ambulance made its way from Frederick Hospital and arrived at the Medical Examiner's Office. Officers and firefighters surrounded the ambulance and stayed outside the building for an hour. In that time, we saw bowed heads, tears, and prayer. And of course, there's still so much more we do not know about what happened, Steve.
Bruce Harrison joins us now with the latest on the investigation. And Bruce, we don't know much at this point except that Officer Jerving and the suspect both died after some type of a struggle.
That's right, Steve. Good afternoon. After a really long day, officers have just wrapped up their on-site investigation. They've removed a lot of police tape, which has allowed us for the first time today to get very close to the spot where Officer Jerving was fatally shot. And not long ago, we heard from Police Chief Norman, and we heard from a chaplain who spoke on behalf of Officer Jerving's family. But first, I want to walk you through parts of his last shift on the Milwaukee Police Force. Now, we know that started in response to an armed robbery on the north side, responding to an armed burglary, I should say, at the Good Hope Apartments. Police were able to eventually find that suspect, and they confronted him down on this part of the city near 14th and Cleveland. The police have identified that suspect in the armed robbery now as 19-year-old Terrell I. Thompson. Police say Jerving scuffled with Thompson, who shot him. The suspect, we know, according to police, also died from gunshot injuries. Now, like I mentioned, hearing from the chief, he spoke at District 4, and as I said, we also heard from Police Chaplain George Papacristo speaking on behalf of Officer Jerving's family.
He will be greatly missed by us all. As we grieve, please remember Officer Jerving's smile and positive attitude that will brighten up our days and light up our room.
Officer Peter Jerving loved and dedicated his life to serving the great people of our city. To his last breath, Peter fulfilled that goal. Milwaukee has lost one of its finest young officers. He will be greatly missed by his mother, father, brothers, and sisters.
We'll be waiting for more results from this investigation. It's being led right now by the Brookfield Police Department. Steve?
Bruce Harrison, thanks so much. We still need to learn about what happened here. Thank you.
But still tonight, we are learning more about Terrell Thompson, the man police say shot Officer Jerving. Our Sean Gallagher is in the newsroom. He joins us now with the very latest. Sean.
Carol, I spoke to neighbors of Terrell Thompson, and they tell me they're shocked, saying that's not the Terrell they know. As someone under the age of 21, though, Thompson could not legally possess a handgun in the state of Wisconsin, which police say he fired at Officer Jerving. But other than that, looking into Thompson's criminal background uncovered very little.
In records reviewed by the I-Team, we discovered Thompson had 2 hit and runs, one in Brown Deer and one in Milwaukee, and 1 reckless driving violation, all of which happened in 2021. According to a criminal complaint in Milwaukee, Thompson hit 2 different cars last July. He ran from those scenes, but one of the victims followed him. He faced 2 charges from this incident, and on Monday, he was in court for a plea and sentencing hearing. The judge sentenced Thompson to 12 months of probation and driver's safety classes. The I-Team received Thompson's pretrial risk assessment. That's an evaluation meant to calculate a defendant's likelihood to skip court appearances or commit new crimes. Thompson scored in the second lowest category on the assessment. Thompson's sentence of probation is pretty standard in non-injury hit-and-run cases. Looking at the 150 non-felony hit-and-run cases in Milwaukee County since 2021, only 4 served any type of jail time. According to the district attorney's office, for someone with no prior record, it would be rare for that person to get jail time for a hit-and-run causing property damage only.
And the district attorney's office says the primary issues in these cases are restitution and driver safety courses, which are best accomplished when the offender is under probationary supervision. Reporting for the I-Team, I'm Sean Gallagher.
Sean, thank you. Today's death is the first time a Milwaukee officer has been killed in the line of duty. in 4 years. It was February 6, 2019, 4 years ago yesterday. Milwaukee Police Officer Matthew Rittner was killed. Officers were serving a search warrant when that happened. Rittner left behind a wife and a 5-year-old son. Not long before that, Officer Michael Mahalski was shot and killed in the line of duty on July 25th. He was also serving a warrant. 1 month before that, Officer Charles Irvine Jr. was killed in a rollover crash in pursuit of a suspect. TMJ4 News has created a gallery with the names and faces of each MPD officer killed in the line of duty over the years. You can find that gallery by scanning this QR code on your screen. Our coverage continues, but as we head to break, some of the many condolences and messages of support from other police departments across southeast Wisconsin. We'll return after this.